Hello, and welcome to an eDemo overview of the Victor Unified Site Server interface. The first thing to note about the Victor Unified Site Server is it has two built-in user accounts, one called Administrator and one called User. The Administrator user account, as the name suggests, is designed for those who are going to administer the box, and the account gives access to all the administrative functions. When an administrator signs in, they are presented with an administrative desktop, which is what we're looking at now. And as you can see, we have several icons down the left hand side which allow access to all the applications that this user will need in order to administer their Victor Unified Site Server. So let's just take a look at the icons then. Underneath the recycle bin at the top, we have access to the CCure 9000 administration workstation. We then have CCure 9000 Launchpad. We have Configuration, which launches a version of the Victor Unified Site Server Setup Wizard. We have the Unified Licensing Application, CCure 9000 Monitoring Station, Server Configuration Application, Victor Unified Client, and finally we have the Video Edge Administration Interface. So if we move over then and take a look at the user account, you'll see that the desktop looks very different. This desktop is designed for unified control and monitoring and not for administration. You'll notice that we have a launch bar along the top and a sidebar along the right hand side. So if we go ahead then and take a look at the sidebar, you'll see the top section is called System, and in it we have two charts, one for CPU and memory, and that displays the current usage. Underneath that we have a section called Storage, which gives an overview of the current storage status. Underneath that we have a further two charts under the heading Network, and these charts give an indication of any activity that are on either of the network interface cards of the Victor Unified Site Server. And the final section we have then is called Health. It's divided into Access, Intrusion and Video, and gives an indication of the status of the services for each of those applications. If we click one of them, we will be expanded out and see all the extension services as well, and whether they're running or not. Okay, then we're going to move up to the launch bar, and you can see we have several buttons on there. Starting at the left hand side, the first button is called Unified Control and Monitoring and launches Victor Unified Client. The second button is called Administration, and underneath it there are two options. Access Control Administration launches the CCure 9000 Administration Station, and Recorder Administration opens up the web browser with the Video Edge Administrative Interface. Third button along opens up the CCure 9000 Monitoring Station. The next button allows a user to very quickly capture a screenshot, so it's very useful for technical support issues. So if you click it, you'll get a confirmation message, and if we click OK there, then we can actually just navigate directly to the Documents library, and we can see that screenshot's been saved with the time and date stamp as its file name. And the final button then in the launch bar is called Help, and it gives access to all the user documentation, application versions and firmware versions of the Victor Unified Site Server. You'll also notice on the launch bar up here we've got some more buttons. We have an auto hide button, which are these two arrows. If I select that and move my mouse away, the launch bar is hidden. If I mouse over again, it will be displayed. You can also change where the launch bar is pinned to by choosing the pin buttons. The sidebar also has these buttons, so the arrows will auto hide, and the pin buttons will change the pinning from right to left.